Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes. This is not going to be a numbered episode. This is a bonus episode. But I do wish we were here under better circumstances. There's been a death
A
in the
loss.
family. Yeah. There's
A
been a
death in the
loss.
family is a death in the family is actually probably better put. It's
Someone very near and dear to us has gone away. The New England Patriots have decided to move on from the greatest coach of all time after two bad seasons. And yeah, that's the lead in, guys. I don't have any exciting lead in. I was like Liam, I was telling you, I was up this morning, got up, went to the gym. I was excited about that. I was like, you know what? I think today might be the day. We haven't heard any news about Belichick and the Patriots. So maybe that means that there isn't going to be any news, where
yeah.
it's like, maybe it is, he's under contract, just business as usual. So get home, doing some quick dishes before I head off to work. All of a
And
sudden,
the lack of hearing anything over the last couple of
nothing,
days too really built my hope where I'm like, I heard they were having the meeting on Monday. Tuesday goes by, Wednesday is
nothing,
going by. I'm
nothing.
like, things are looking
Yeah.
good. We haven't heard anything. Status quo.
And then no, I got that text from Al. I looked down at my watch and I was like, he's texting me for one of two reasons this early in the morning. It's either Belichick staying or Belichick is gone. And you texted twice, Al, and I saw the second text first and it said, wow. I didn't even have to see the first one. I was like, I know what this is. And then from then on, my world changed. The glass shattered, and now we are here mercifully. I didn't have work today. Ended up being Liam, you have work later, so at least you got to be sad without work. And Al, you stayed
Yeah.
home sick, even though I don't know if it was sickness of the heart or if you were actually sick.
Oh,
But
I was actually,
He
I
died
was
of a
actually
broken
sick.
heart.
I
you
was
could
actually
sense
sick.
it. You could sense the Belichick move coming on in
He
you.
just has to
Yeah.
say that for his employers. He woke up,
Yeah.
read the
Yeah,
headline,
right. The stress
broke into tears.
Oh my gosh. No,
Get the sub.
I was legitimately sick this morning. I woke up at 6 and I was like, I can't do it today. I was feeling awful. And thank God I did because I slept for a lot of the day, but I did get to see one of the perks of, well, I shouldn't say perks because that's terrible. One of the good things about being home sick is I got to see the Belichick press conference, the Kraft
Yes.
press conference, and the second Kraft press conference. So got to see those
Yes.
today.
Yes, which we will get to. So it's really just going to be a Belichick episode. Obviously, before we get into it, I got some stats to rattle off, and then we'll kind of the floor will be ours. So just real quick, in this is all in Belichick's time here. His 24 seasons. He's
Oh God, this is gonna
52
be
in
good.
28 in games of 3 points or fewer, which is crazy. He has a winning record against every single team, not named the Patriots, obviously. In that 24 season span, the Patriots have had the fewest turnovers. They've also forced the most turnovers, which is crazy. In that 24-year span, New England has had one head coach. Do you know how many head coaches there's been around the league in 24 years?
I'm gonna say something like I'm gonna say like 225.
Almost. The number is 213. Got
Damn,
Oh
some of these
wow,
wow.
you were
stats.
real close.
Wow,
Got some of
I
these
was pretty spot on.
from the Pat McAfee show. Then obviously all the other ones we know. He's been to 9 Super Bowls, 6 wins, 13 AFC championship games, 17 division titles, 18 playoff appearances with 30 playoff wins, 20 winning seasons, 296 wins with the Patriots, 3-time coach of the year.
Damn.
Yeah, all those accolades. 2 bad years.
Two
Gone.
bad years. All
2 bad
that.
years.
But 2 bad years.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I don't know which one of you guys want to start it. I know 2 of us are very sad. One of us are happy about this. I don't know who wants to.
I do have another little side fact to throw in. I heard today when I was
Yes.
going through. Bill Belichick is 17-0 in playoff games where the Patriots had a positive turnover differential. So that's
Crazy.
pretty fucking ridiculous. It's like
Crazy.
if you make a mistake, we're winning the game. Just one mistake, we're winning the game.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll kick us off. So we're just talking strictly about Belichick, right? No press conferences, none of that, right?
I mean, if we want kind of, yeah, we'll just kind of mix it all in because I'm sure like some of the
Okay.
stuff we say, you'll mix in with the press conferences and all that stuff. So yeah, just wherever you want to
Okay.
take.
So what Mike was referring to a second ago, two people being sad and one person being quote happy, is that Mike and Liam are crying tears of Belichick sadness, and that's probably the tears that Belichick caused so many teams for years as the Patriots head coach against his opponents. So that's probably where those tears are coming from. But I seem to remember.
I now know what it's like to be a Broncos fan, a Lions fan,
Browns
a Ravens
fan.
Hey,
fan.
listen, the Lions, the Browns, and the Ravens are all looking good going into the playoffs. So,
Definitely a Jets fan, a Bills fan,
all right.
absolutely a Dolphins fan.
All right. But anyways, so Mike, I don't know if you recall this, but a couple weeks ago, you and I were on an episode without Liam because Liam had something to attend to. By the way, hope that issue got resolved, by the way.
No, she's dead.
Oh.
No, we're good.
Okay. That's such morbid humor. That's terrible.
I didn't know what to say. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
that's
she's
yeah. Mike was on the same wavelength as me right there. Liam, you're such a dink.
No, she's stubborn.
And Mike, do you recall what I said 2 weeks ago about my Bill Belichick stance?
I don't know, probably the same thoughts you had about Mac Jones, Jacoby
Incorrect.
Myers, like
Incorrect.
No, honestly, I could probably think about it, but my brain is mush right now because everything. So no, what was your stance?
My stance was I was neutral on the topic. I said if they kept Belichick around, great, makes sense, all good. But if they said see you later, like whatever, then fine. Then it's it maybe it's time. My whole take on it. Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady had 24 years. Well, really 20 years because Brady wasn't around for the last 4, but 20 years of unbelievable success. You don't get anywhere without those three: the owner, the head coach, and the quarterback. The quarterback leaves after the 2019 season. We know that whole thing. We know all that. My stance is this. I hated seeing Belichick on that podium for the last time because you knew once he walked out that door, he's not coming back. So that part obviously sucks.
It was sad.
Now, having said that, at this point with the way the Patriots are at this current moment, would I be okay with restarting? And when I mean restart, I mean new head coach, new quarterback, everything else. Would I be okay with that now as opposed to a couple of years from now with all this uncertainty? Sure, you can be okay with it because, again, I know Belichick's gone, but there are so many good coaching candidates out there. Everyone's going to be a step down from Belichick. I'm just going to put that out there right now. And I understand that. I'm not naive to that. I understand that. Nobody is Bill Belichick. But when you take a look at some of the names out there that can lead the Patriots into the future, and I'm just, throwing, a couple of them out there. Mike Vrabel, Gerard Mayo, Ben Johnson, Brian Flores is another name that nobody's talking about.
Nick Saban,
who just retired, Jim Harbaugh, and all these other names. But there are a lot of good quality coaches out there, and at some point, you're gonna have to move on. And I hate saying it that way, but you are going to have to move on. Now, again, if they came out today and was like, you know what? Belichick's back for one more year, last year on his contract. We're going to give him one more year to fix this. Okay, fine, great. Then you better have fixed it. But at this point, it seems like it was a mutual split. It seems like it was very peaceful. It seems like it's not going to be like Brady, where it was so abrupt and just kind of heinous and kind of, we're like sitting there like with our mouths wide open. We're like, why? Why did it have to happen this way? It seems like they're going about it the right way. Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick in their press conferences today, very wholesome, very open-hearted, very just genuine, very appreciative. I will always appreciate everything that Belichick did the last 24 years. I know you guys are the same. I know you're going to appreciate everything that they did and everything that Belichick and Kraft did together. But at this point, you know what? get a new coach in there, maybe see what you can do with the offensive part of this roster. Because one thing in the group text, Mike, that you said, and I agree with, the defense is there. Like the defense has the pieces in place. You fix up that offense, you get maybe just, a little more of an offensive minded head coach and let the defense do their thing. I mean, you're a lot closer to contention than people think. So, and we don't know. And this is the last thing I say. I know I'm going on. And I want to hear from Liam too. Maybe Belichick in the back of his mind was like, you know what? The direction has been going south the last 2 years. There's a couple other teams out there that have a better roster right this second than the Patriots do. I only need about, 15 more wins to break Shula's record. I could probably do that in 2 years with a different team and then come back to New England a hero, because that's what he's going to come back as, a hero and idol, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of wrap everything up, it sucks to see him go, but you know what? I am genuinely excited about who they're going to bring in as their head coach, who the new quarterback's going to be, what moves they make in the offseason, and see what happens going into 2024. There's genuine excitement coming from me.
You're an adult, and slow golf
gonna say
clap
the
for
same
you,
thing.
sir. You are far more mature than me, and I will assume you're more mature than Mike as well. You took the high road. There is a lot to be excited about, but
Thank you.
that is foresight that I lack. I cannot see that far down the road. The road that I'm taking, fog, a lot of fog. I can't see past my headlights.
Off a cliff.
Yeah,
That's where
and
your road's
no,
going.
I hope it's going off a cliff. Like, I just want at the end of this road to be a nice, very sturdy, very strong, beautiful, majestic, nature-esque tree that I can wrap this car that I'm driving around. It hurts. I am in severe amounts of pain. I had to go to a job interview earlier, and I had to act composed and whatnot. And I walked in there and tried not to act like a lunatic, and I was distraught. Beside myself, they're trying to ask about my personal accomplishments and achievements, and all I could do was name off the accomplishments of Bill Belichick. I'm naming off his win-loss records.
We won that playoff game in 2014 against the Ravens. That was good.
Yeah,
So
the
your
turnover
accomplishments.
differentials. Yeah, he's
My
like,
accomplishment.
Yeah.
when was the time
the dude that's interviewing you is like the manager in Ted, where he's like, I like you. You got
I like
moxie.
it.
You're
Yeah.
hired.
You got balls. He's like, when was the time you failed and overcame that triumph? I was like, well, they all said that I deflated footballs back in a playoff game. That he's like, no, I really don't like where this is going. Maybe some other adversity. It's like, well, I was able to find this illegal formation where we could report eligible receivers and ineligible receivers and completely confuse the Ravens defense in this one playoff game and completely change the rules after that. Just basically after that, they cut the interview short. I obviously have the job. They said they didn't need to hear anymore. I'm distraught. I get it. It was going to happen eventually, but why did it have to happen now? I feel like Gatsby right now, where the dude from Spider-Man's like, you can't reclaim the past. And I'm looking at him like, yes, you can. You can reclaim the past. You can do it for 2 years, 3 years. You can hold on. You can fucking hold on tight. I don't want to let him go. I don't know how mutual of a parting this was. I don't want to be the media that speculates and makes all this shit. I don't know how mutual this parting was. I can't help but think that Belichick wants to be here till he retires. It doesn't seem right to see him in another uniform, coaching another team, which we almost surely will. Robert Kraft mentioned that in the press conference after Belichick. It's fucking horrifying when you
It's
have
sad.
unprecedented greatness. Yeah, like, dude, it doesn't get better. Like, it's never gonna get better than this. Everyone's like, he has records that'll never be broken. Like, you're damn right. I'm gonna be 100 years old if I don't die at 60. I'm gonna be 100 years old, and I'm never gonna see better coaching than I did in the beginning of my life. It's like I climbed Mount Everest, and that was my first mountain. And then every other mountain after that, I'm like, this is a bitch ass mountain. Like, the next mountain I climb is Mount Washington. No, that's not fucking cool. That sucks.
No, mate, you're
I
right. You're right.
oh
It's just like my my thing, and Al, a lot of what you said is definitely like the mature way to take it. I'm sure you knew that Liam and I were not going to go that route.
Oh, I knew in the group chat.
If
I
Al
knew.
takes the high road, me and Mike are taking tunnels.
Well, yeah, no.
Oh,
We
I
are
knew
the
that.
subway system. You are the interstate above the ground.
Okay.
You said that obviously every coach you get from here is going to be a step down, correct? So that just leads me to ask you, why are we doing this right now? His contracts, for as much as we know, they've all but confirmed it. And Belichick did. He's still under contract. He has not lost the locker room. In fact, there's been multiple Patriots players who have tweeted things out that are not great. Like
Chandler Jones sang him a song.
Chandler Jones sang him a song, whatever. Mac Wilson sent out some little emojis. You had other players sending out things where they're like, this seems a little whatever, but who knows? So that's another thing people aren't thinking about. Of course, like maybe players coming here and all that stuff, but the players that are in house right now, like, what do you think they think about? They come here to play with Belichick. Now they're going to play with, I'm sorry, but they're going to play for Gerard Mayo. That's not a name to them. They're going to play for Mike Vrabel. He's a respected name, but it's Vrabel. It's not Belichick. But so my thing is just, why did you have to pull the cord now? Like, do you think that another coach, and if this is what they think, then it's what they think. Do they think another coach is better suited to build up a rookie quarterback, to build up something? Because even though I said in the group chat that the defense is still elite, 90%, 80% of that is due to Belichick or his son.
I was going to say that.
So with them gone, like, you got the players, but you also got players. Mac Wilson, not a big playmaking guy. Anthony Jennings, not a big playmaking guy.
Right.
These guys you have there on defense more so than offense. It's scheme, it's play calling. It's not, you don't have the TJ Watts, the JJ Watt. Like, you don't have those players. You have players who perform well in the scheme. So now it even,
do we really think Jabril Peppers just all of a sudden had a career year, like 10 years into his career?
Exactly. That's the stuff that worries me, where it's like, this is so much more than just getting rid of a coach. You are the Patriots as we know them are done. Like, let's just kind of call that like the Patriot way. If that was still a thing, if it was ever a real thing, is gone, because you still have like your veterans in there. You have your Judons, whoever else you want to have, David Andrews as your veteran players in there. The players can only do so much. The culture of the Patriots is done. The I want to come play, the mystique. I want to play for the hoodie. I want to play for Bill Belichick. That's gone. Getting players like a Mac Wilson to come here, getting players like a Rob Ninkovich who are underutilized elsewhere, and you bring them here because you think, say bye-bye to that.
Yeah.
No other coach is going to find these
Wes
diamonds in the rough
Welkers.
like that. No more Wes Welkers. Chris Hogan was fine, but like things like that, you're not gonna get the many. I don't see it happening. I may be wrong, but this is just what I fear. You're not going to get these players, these underused, under-talented players, and they're going to be stars here. You're not going to get that anymore. So that's another thing. So even though I said the defense is going to be fine, shit, they might not be. You know what I mean?
I do. And you know what, Mike, to that point, I said
a lot of things, so I'm sorry.
No, dude, I went on for like 3 minutes. Who cares? So I'm going to answer your question that you asked at the very beginning. Why did they have to do this now? I'm going to give you 2 reasons. I'm not saying they're great reasons, but these are probably the 2 reasons that they justify it as.
I'm open to it. We're talking through it. We're talking through the page.
Yes, we are.
So
number 1, the direction as far as the results for the last 3 years. I know we say it's only 2 years, and I understand that. But look at the direction as far as wins and losses. You go 7-10 in the Cam Newton year. You seem to be going upward.
7-9.
7-9. Sorry,
yeah,
thank
7-9.
you.
Yeah, it was 16.
So I forgot because So
back
7-9.
in the old days, it was 16 games.
Why not? Back in my day, we played 16 games.
O.J. Simpson ran for 2,000 yards in 14 games.
So in 2020, the Patriots go 7-9. Thank you, Liam. In 2021, Mac Jones rookie year, they seem to be going in the right direction. They go 10-7, get blasted by the Bills in the wild card, but still they're going in the right direction.
Playoffs.
And then 2022 comes, they go 8-9, 1 game away from the playoffs, which it was great, but it felt like it wasn't where they were supposed to be. And then obviously this season they go 4-13. So the way that they're saying it, and Robert Kraft said this in his press conference today after he did the one with Belichick earlier in the morning, it's a results-based league, and they don't have the results that they want right now. Again, not saying it's the best reason in the world, but it's a true fact that the results haven't been there. So that's number 1. And number 2, and I think this is the more important reason, there was never gonna be a good time to do this. There just never was. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was today. It didn't matter if it was next year. It didn't matter if it was in 2026, 2028, whatever it was. There was never going to be a good time to do this because you're saying goodbye. We're saying goodbye to someone that has been around since I was 5 years old, 6 years old. That was the first year in 2000. I was like 6 years old, 7 years old when Belichick first came to the Patriots.
Damn, you guys are old.
Yes. So again,
I was like 9.
yeah. So again,
I was 3.
excuse me. So again, there was never going to be an ideal time to do it because for the fans, and I'm gonna put you two in this category for a second because I know you two are having a harder time with this because obviously Bill Belichick means so much to you guys, and Bill Belichick means a lot to me and millions of Patriots fans around the world, rightfully
I
so.
wish Bill Belichick was my dad.
There you go. So with that, again, there was just, and I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but there was just never going to be the perfect time to be like, okay, unless the Patriots won the Super Bowl in the next year or two, which I don't see that happening at this very moment, but unless they won a Super Bowl and then it's like, okay,
You
now
don't
it's
see
my
it
time
happening
to
because
go.
we don't have Bill Belichick anymore. If we had
It's
Bill
not just,
Belichick,
but
the
it's
Super
not
Bowl
just
window is always
Belichick.
open.
But
The
it's
Super
not
Bowl
just
window's always-
Belichick.
It is though.
It's
If as
not
long as
just
he's in
Belichick.
house,
It is
the
though.
the idea is there. If Bill Belichick is in house, the goal is Super Bowls. Next year, the goal is going to be what? Like the playoffs, win 7 games. Fucking
I don't know.
Jesus.
Dude, that's a
Yeah.
part of it.
And-
what's the philosophy? What's the goals
Yeah.
now? Like it all
And-
changes. Yeah.
I get the results based argument and whatnot, but I find massive flaws with that in circumstances like this. Like Nick Saban retired, made the college football playoffs, got knocked off by Michigan. He really had no business going there with the team that they had. It wasn't as good. NIL deals kind of fucked up Alabama's dominance. But with that, when you have such a long tenured success rate and you have a few bad years toward the end, I find it hard to believe that you're just like, all right, well, the last 2 years have sucked. The last, 4 years have been a bit of a struggle. Time to cut the cord. It's like, yeah, well, we had, that period between 2004 and 2014 where we didn't win shit Super Bowl wise, but we still won a lot of games. So I guess like that keeps you entertained and whatnot. But by our standards, every year we didn't win was a failure. The undefeated season where we lost in the Super Bowl, utter failure, complete and utter failure. Like no one looks at that season and was like, wow, that was sick. No, all Patriots fans look at that, don't even want to look at highlights from that year. Like this was fucking. Oh, it's like watching the beginning of any Saw movie. You're like, what am I? Oh no, it's fucking atrocious. Everyone in the modern age, it just seems like people have a propensity to overcorrect. It's like we handle dandruff with decapitation. It's like, let's just fucking throw out the baby with the bathwater. It's the most absurd thing where it's like, all right, what have you done for me lately? It hasn't been good. Get the fuck out of here. It's like, no, like this was a pillar of constant success. Like it would be like firing Nick Saban just because he had he didn't win the national championship this year. Oh, down year for Nick Saban, fire him. Like what the fuck? Just give him a couple of years. He very well could fix it. I'm a big believer in people like that should just have an open door policy. Tom Brady very well did and should have had an open door policy. And like people were begging Tom Brady to stay. But with Bill Belichick, they're pushing him out the door because of a couple bad seasons. Tom Brady threw like 24 touchdowns in his last year. That's 2 more than Mac Jones did in his rookie year. That's not very good for Tom Brady. And people were like, please, Tom, stay. And then with Bill Belichick, it's all these assumptions all season long. We got to get him out of here. This isn't working. I don't know. It seems utterly unfair. There's no equal judgment for anyone. And I think it's treason. It's absolutely treason.
So let me just ask you guys this. What would happen if reports came out even a year or two later that said that Belichick wanted to leave, wanted to move on himself, and that was made public? Would you guys feel a little bit better about today?
Yeah.
I'm good with it. Oh, I'm
100%, 'cause he
1,000%
can do
good if
whatever
it
he
was
wants.
his. If it
Because
was his
it's
choice to do it.
because
But I
it's
don't think it was his choice, and that's why I'm so pent up about it.
so here's the thing. I'm thinking that, and I'm basing it off of body language, emotion, everything else. I think Belichick a little bit knew that this was the end of the line. similar to when Brady knew after the 2019 wildcard loss that it was the end of the line for him in New England. So I think that, yes, I think Robert was a big factor in Bill leaving. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
But I do think that Belichick in the back of his mind is like, you know what? At this point, like I said earlier in the show, if I can go to, he's probably thinking if I can go to like an Atlanta and get a quarterback, or if I can go to a Washington or a Chargers or whatever, where there's more players there right now, then it doesn't make this as bad. So that's why I think it's
completely different.
How is it completely different?
Because you're going to a place where you have no footing in that organization. You didn't really bring any of the guys in. It's just kind of like a family plus me. Like you drop me in and I make the family type deal. Like no, that's not how Bill Belichick's always kind of run his show. It's like yeah, let me go to the Chargers where I have Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and Justin Herbert, and everything's going to be good. No, like I don't know if that's a realistic thought, at least for Bill Belichick. I would find it very difficult to have coached infinite success in 24 years and then go to some place where people are like, yeah, you accomplished all these other things the Patriot way, blah, blah, blah. And now you're coming here. There's no Charger way. There's no Washington Commanders way. There's no any of this stuff. And they expect Bill Belichick to bring over this culture. I think it would be a brutal transition for him. I can't imagine it just seems more of a hassle to be like, yeah, let me go coach in San Diego or fucking LA now, I guess, for 2 years instead of just staying where you are and finishing out the greatness in the same spot you have been for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that with him going to these other places, like he was here for 24 years and, you could tell he still very much had the passion to coach and coach here, I think, because you heard him
Yeah.
in his little press conference or his little, statement. He started to get emotional talking about the fans and what, they meant to him and his family. So I think that he wanted to stay here, but I do agree, Al, where you're like, there had to be a breakup at some point. What's going to happen? My thing is, if you were going to supposedly sign him, which I think is real now because he is under contract, you sign him to a multi-year extension. Could have been 2 years. That's fine. So let's just say he had a year left on his deal, which is kind of how it seems. Why not? Why not let him run that out? And I guess the retort to that would be because you want to get a new person in here to, really restart everything and not have to, cook with Belichick's groceries. But if that was even a possibility, then why re-sign him 2 years? Why not re-sign him 1 year? And if that's not what Belichick wanted, then why not just rip the Band-Aid off last year? Like there's just so many things.
The next coach is going to be a Belichick disciple of sorts. It's either going to be Mike Vrabel or Gerard Mayo. Like it doesn't seem like anyone else is linked to the Patriots. Mike Vrabel was fired, I heard, because he was like making jokes about taking the Patriots job. Crazy. Yeah. Which is so petty. But like, so what? We're going to bring Mike Vrabel in here and he's going to try and carry on the Bill Belichick way. Then it's going to be, it's going to be a facade where he's like, I coached under Belichick. It's just we're carrying on what Belichick built with other guys that coach for him. It's like, why not just have the real fucking thing for as long as you can instead of having Gerard Mayo and him prop it up?
And I think to your point, Liam, I think that's why they do need to clean house. Now, I will say this, if I had to pick my ideal replacement for Belichick right now, I would get Ben Johnson from the Lions. Offensive-minded coach, new voice in the locker room, a guy that helped the Lions get to a 12-5 record, and they're hosting their first home playoff game forever.
So that's the number one coach you want?
That is who I would want. But
over I know Vrabel or Mayo.
I would want Ben Johnson, truthfully. That would be my home run. But I know that it's going to come down to you said it's going to come down to Mike Vrabel or Gerard Mayo. It's going to come down.
And we all know it. So why not get the real thing? Why get the discount Lucky Charms, the generic Stop and Shop brand? Buy the fucking name brand. You got it. Why? It's on the shelf.
You know why? And I think I just kind of thought of this as you guys were talking about it. I don't think that Kraft necessarily cares if Belichick's way happens, which is why I think this is such a huge turning point for the Patriots franchise. I don't think that whoever comes in is going to carry on the Belichick way. It's going to be a new, but whether it is Ben Johnson, I think if an outside person like Ben Johnson comes in, the Patriots aren't going to be relevant for the next 5 years. Like, it's just not, because you're going to have to, one, weed through all the players that are here that were Belichick guys that other coaches might not know how to use, that might not respect that type of coaching or whatever, because they came here to play with Belichick. That's why I think if you bring someone like Vrabel, who's a little similar, it's a little bit easier, but it's still, or like maybe if Mayo comes up because he was in there, but then it goes back to what Liam said, where it's like, why are you going to have like a half-assed Belichick when you could just have Belichick and then really set up for a future thing? Because it doesn't seem like you're set up for anything. Like that's where this seems like, and it just goes to what I said before, where I think that Kraft just kind of overreacted to 2 bad years. And I get it. He doesn't like losing. He said it plenty of times. We don't like losing. No one likes losing, but you know what else we don't like? 5 years of irrelevancy, which might happen now, because if you bring in someone else, they're going to have to, like I said, they're going to have to instill their whole new thing. So that means next year, a wash, unless one of these quarterbacks, just they win on skill alone. You know what I mean? Where it's like the Patriots draft or the players are so good. But odds are the next 2 to 3 years are going to be just completely rebuilding, which I think you could have jump-started that rebuild if you had like Belichick here to build something right now, draft people, bring people in. And I know you got to do it again the whole next year. So I guess it's kind of the same thing, but it's just like, I don't know. You're now looking at a team with no GM, no coach, no starting quarterback, no real enticing reason to come here on offense, and a bunch of defensive players who are like, well, who's going to be our coach? Because Steve Belichick is gone. If Gerard Mayo's the coach, is he gonna coach defense too? If he's not going to be the head coach, is he going to want to stay here and be the defensive coordinator? Like, what is going on? There's so much. It just feels like you created this full on rebuild that didn't need to happen.
Yeah,
maybe.
But I don't know.
Maybe. And you know what? But because now we have to look at it, I think the ideal scenario, which would be, I think, perfect, is Gerard Mayo is the defensive coordinator. If he's not the head coach, you make him the defensive coordinator and you pay him a lot of money, excuse me, to be the defensive coordinator. If you want to keep Bill O'Brien for 1 more year, to give him one more, I think he signed a 2-year deal anyway. So let him, work out his contract. That's fine. And then you get the Johnson or the Vrabel as your head coach. I think that solidifies your coaching staff and makes the transition a little bit easier, because you have a former Super Bowl champion and a defensive-minded defensive coordinator, which is what you want. You have Bill O'Brien that maybe they'll bring in more players, bring in a quarterback, whatever. And then you have either the Vrabel, like you said, Mike, that makes that transition a little easier with still some familiarity, or you bring in a Ben Johnson that brings in some new ideas, some fresh perspectives, and everything else. It's probably going to be that the next couple of years are going to look a little rocky, but you know what? If that means in, 4 or 5 years, they're consistent playoff contenders, like, and I hate that I'm going to use this comparison, but like the Kansas City Chiefs, after they drafted Mahomes and they had, the talent, and they had Andy Reid and all that, then fine. I'm fine with a couple bad years if that means getting back to relevancy to compete for Super Bowls and compete for championships and everything else. But you got to do it right, and it starts with this offseason.
If you were going to be bad, like say that happens where you have 2 to 3 years of like just mediocre, bad, whatever, why not keep Belichick? So then he's a draw too. You know what I mean? So like, I get what you're saying, because I can see it from that point of view, but then it just makes me think again, where it's like, if that's going to be the case anyways, like, why not? If that's the way Kraft is thinking, it's like, why not keep Belichick and do that rebuild if you think that you're going to be in like rebuilding bad mode anyway. So like, but it's one of those things like we won't know if this was the right move or not for the next couple of years. Like, we just will never know, like until we know, I guess. But it's just, it's one of those things where it's like, you don't like it because it happened. You understand it had to happen, but I just feel, and I've just kind of been on this point the whole time. And I think Liam has been too, to an extent. I think this was just a year too early. Like, let him. And I get that the timing is kind of whatever, because what happens if if Vrabel is the guy you want, he goes somewhere else, then you can't do it, then you have to wait longer. Like, I don't know what the plan is. And I think that's the worrisome thing, because if Kraft
Fear
is
of
sitting
the
there saying
unknown.
we want to bring a coach in here to win, we want all this stuff, that means he doesn't want to do a full rebuild. Al, if you listen to what Kraft said, I was just kind of thinking of that. He wants someone to come in here and get wins and get to the playoffs. That's been his whole thing. So my issue is, and Al, you might get this, because I was talking about it before. Liam, you'll get it too. I don't mean to be like, Liam, you don't get it because it's baseball.
No,
But
you're
like,
good. I'm
there
pretty
were
out there.
remember when the Red Sox front office just went out and signed like a couple of big name people for like no reason, just because like they thought, like
No, you're
Pablo
right. I
Sandoval,
definitely don't know where
Oh
you're
yeah,
like Adrian
Sandoval and
Gonzalez,
Hanley. Yeah,
like
no, I
this
remember that.
this strikes me as a Red Sox front office thing, where it's like, now like we got to win soon, so Julio Jones is available. Let's get him. He's a big name. Like, I have zero faith in Kraft, because I know people give Kraft this credit, and the only credit he gets is like 5% for bringing in Belichick. But like, I don't know if he's going to know who to sign and where to help get. Like, he has no excuses to not pay for people now, because it was all
Right.
Belichick before. So now it's Kraft's money. So you got to go get the people. But
Yeah.
it's just like, my frustration just comes in the fact that there's just a lot of unknown right now. And I know that you have to do that if you're going to change coaches and all that stuff, but it just seems, to bring it back, it all just seems too early, and it just sucks. Just sucks,
Yeah.
because I guarantee you
Yes.
Belichick's going to win the Super Bowl next year. So
Yeah.
like,
And if he
where he goes.
and guess what? If he does, then we'll clap for him from afar and say good for him and everything else. But let me ask you guys this, and I know this is a little soon. I shouldn't say a little soon. It is very soon.
I'm not ready to move on
Well,
now.
you got to be at some point, bud. You have to be.
Yep, some point eight now. Some point eight tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna ask it
Some point
anyway.
eight next year.
Is there a name that would make you guys at least be like, okay, I feel a little better. I feel like, okay, this is a good quality name. And it's like, okay, I can get excited about this name leading the franchise.
Bill Belichick.
You're an idiot.
You asked?
You can't pick Bill. Ding
Oh.
dong.
What was the
Steve.
question? My headphones died for a second.
Oh, yeah, sure it did. How convenient. Yeah, see, look at that smirk on your face. You know what?
No, they did. You didn't see me freaking out. I was like, what's going on?
Who is one name that is not Bill Belichick that you would have as your head coach next year?
Easy. Steve Belichick.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then Steve Belichick graciously gives up coaching duties to his dad, and then we're right back where we started.
Either that or Jesus Christ gets resurrected for a second time and coaches the Patriots.
No. I'll give you an honest answer. So I go back and forth. It's really between the two main people that people are talking about.
Yeah, Vrabel,
Mike Vrabel or Gerard Mayo to me. I ideally, I guess now that it happened, like Belichick's gone, before I was kind of staunch against not doing it, have Vrabel come in and have Mayo be your defensive coordinator, but I don't know if he's going to want to be your defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
I agree.
So,
I think if they give it to Vrabel, I think Mayo's as good as gone.
Mayo's gone. So then you need a defensive coordinator, a GM, a head coach, unless you get Vrabel. So we'll take that off. And then do you need an offensive coordinator? Like, is Bill O'Brien going to go? Like, I don't know if he's going to want, like, do you bring Ben Johnson over for that? I don't know if he's going to want to come over. So like, it just, again, this move just, it just strikes me as such a short-sighted thing, where it's like, instead of trying to like, okay, let's do another little rebuild, it's like, oh no, we gotta get this is a move that bad teams do. This is a move that I would make
it's
fun
like,
of.
we had a bad year. The media's
doing.
flipping out. Everyone's pissed. We only won 4 games.
But to answer your question though, I guess Vrabel would be the guy. I wouldn't be excited about it because he's been worse than Belichick has the last 2 years. But I mean, I guess it would be Vrabel.
Yeah, I mean, in captain, my captain, it's Bill Belichick or nothing for me. That's my.
So you're gonna be, to go back to it, you're gonna be immature about it, and you're gonna.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
just checking.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
So I will say though, when the Patriots are losing next year, Liam will not be the only person going, wonder if Belichick
This
would have
is
done this.
weird. Yeah, when we give up 400 passing yards in week 1, I'm gonna go.
And
Wish
what would
we had somebody
happen?
that could stop that.
And what would happen if Belichick was back? And obviously, this is a hypothetical now. What would happen if Belichick came back in 2024 and it was the same as this past year? What would you guys be saying?
Then at
Oh,
least
no,
I get to see that
I've already said
gorgeous
I'm done.
curmudgeon in a cutoff hoodie on the sidelines.
Oh,
At least I have some
gosh.
sort of comfort.
I've already
That's
said
what we're
if
going
he-
to now.
If he showed up, it would be like the Mac Jones year, where this would be the
Yeah,
year,
and
depending on
we
how
did
it
say
is.
that. So I
Yeah.
agree with Mike. We did say that at the as the season went on, it got infinitely more disappointing. We're like, all right,
Mhm.
this is one really bad year. You can always look. People make mistakes. Like I'm sure we've all done like one really terrible thing in our lives. I bet we've all, maybe not Al. Al's a man of the Lord, but me and Mike have definitely done at least one super shitty thing. And
sure.
I've
there's
done some
always
shitty things.
room for
Sure, every day.
redemption.
Every
Yeah,
day.
yeah, I know. I pooped on my neighbor's doorstep. Like there's room for redemption in these
Oh, good.
circumstances. Um, but yeah, while we're speaking in hypotheticals or what I've said, it just makes makes an already horribly disappointing season even more disappointing because it's like,
Mhm.
what if the Mac Jones thing had worked? What if we clicked? What if we were even like semblant? What if we were like just slightly above 500 team, like maybe a fringe playoff team or like a wild
Yep.
card team? Like, would we still have Belichick? Would any of this stuff have had to have happened? Probably not. And it's just
Mac
like,
Jones killed
damn.
Bill Belichick. That
Mm.
should be the headline.
Yeah,
I saw
it
that. I
should.
saw that post that you reposted on X. I saw that. That was
Him and Saban, how Mac Jones crosses both
Yeah,
their paths,
that
and
was
all of a sudden
funny.
they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just I
Dude.
don't. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think would have been the threshold for Belichick to stay here, you guys, this
Yeah.
year? Do you think it was like an 8-9, 9-8,
I think
potential
it was-
playoff, fringe playoff team?
I think it was, yeah. I think it was, if they didn't do as bad as they did, if they didn't have a 4-13 record, yeah. If they were 8-9, 9-8, it's like, okay, we're not improving win and loss wise, but like the
But we're
talent,
consistently okay.
yeah, we're consistently there. We're really a couple pieces away. But I think the fact that it went from, you had half your wins this year you did last year, and it continued to go down those 3 years. I think it just was too much. And I think it was just, we go from 10 wins in a playoff appearance to 8 wins, no playoff appearance, to 4 wins, no playoff appearance. Like, what's going to
You
happen
can't
next year?
get
We're gonna
any
go 2
worse.
Oh, it can. It can.
Not under Belichick, it can.
Well, I beg to differ, but
did you
now we're
guys
not going to
see-
know that.
Did you guys see Jabril Peppers earlier in the week say that looking really downtrodden about it too, when he was like him and other people in the locker room felt like they let Belichick down?
Yeah, I saw that.
Do you
Oh,
think that
dude,
a
I
player
did
says
not see
that?
That's so
Do you think a
sad.
player says that about a coach, that he would feel comfortable if that coach got fired? I
No,
don't think
unless-
so.
no,
So this
unless
is
you're
my
Tr-
thing.
Unless
It's
you're
just
Trent
that-
Brown.
There's
Yeah, well,
Fuck
Trent
Trent
Brown's
Brown.
a
I know.
spineless,
There's-
cockless pussy.
there's players in that locker room. I get the majority of them probably on the defensive side who are like, I don't like what are we doing here now?
Like, if we had just scored one defensive touchdown in a couple of games, we would have won.
does Kendrick Bourne want to come back now?
I think he
I
still
don't
does.
know.
I think he genuinely likes New England.
You think so? Yeah. I mean,
I
we'll see.
I
This is-
genuinely
why.
do.
Can't
Ah,
imagine
see,
why.
this is-
We had a snowstorm last week and then it flooded earlier this week. I don't
I'm
know what
just
the fucking
thinking,
appeal
like,
is.
how are you gonna bring free agents here?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's the Patriots. Okay, I don't give
There's
a
no
shit.
draw. You can play in Foxborough, which is about an hour away from Boston.
Like, cool. So I get to be cold all the time, play for Mike Vrabel, let's say. Actually, no,
Yeah.
you know what? Because I think what it will probably be is Gerard Mayo. Let's say you play for Gerard Mayo. Cool. He was a good linebacker. I don't know shit about Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, no.
I heard
Unless you're a
he rubs
Pats
people
fan,
the wrong.
no one knows fucking.
He rubs people the
Gerard
wrong way in the locker room. Why do I want to play
Yeah.
for him? Like,
Well,
why?
put it this way: with Gerard Mayo, there's a reason that he was getting head coaching interviews last year and the year before.
Adam
There's a-
Gase got head coach.
there's a
That doesn't
reason-
mean shit.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I think
Yeah, but
that it
that is-
actually.
True, but that has nothing to do with the players liking him.
No, I know.
Players, you know what I mean?
I
So-
do. But I also think too that just having like a little bit of a younger voice and having, I think what the Patriots need at this point, and you guys are going to hate hearing this, but I think they need a little bit more of a player's coach like, and man, I'm gonna puke
Hate
that
that
I'm
so
about to
much.
bring this out.
Oh god.
Like a Mike McDaniels, like a Mike McDaniel type where he gets the
How do I
job
kick Al
done.
off? How do I kick Al off?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we
Mike
make you're
McDaniel,
the host, right?
Mr.
I'm just saying.
fucking
I'm just
rah
saying.
rah, flash in the pan,
I'm not
flavor of the
saying
month.
exactly like him, but I'm saying a
Ugh.
coach that can connect to the
Ugh.
players. If you don't want that, I'm trying to think of some other,
Mike
like a
Vrabel would
Dan,
be a good
like
We
a
should
like a
definitely
Dan
get a
Campbell,
coach that looks like a 12-year-old.
like a Dan Campbell, a guy that guys like.
See, I love Dan Campbell. So
His coaching decisions aren't the best at times, but a guy like Dan Campbell that can
see,
come
I
in.
don't want that.
But
I just
but
wanted Bill Belichick.
wait a minute, Dan Campbell. How long has he been with the Lions now? I think this is either his third year or second
Few
year.
years, yeah, third year, I think, right?
Look at what he's done with the Lions. And the Lions were a laughing
Right.
stock in the NFL. He's brought
Turned him
a
around.
culture there, and they're 12-5, about to host a playoff game.
Mhm.
Like, the point I'm trying to make is, if you get a coach like that to come in and either keep the culture the way that it was or have a lot of similarities, or you just bring in, some new values that are still in a positive direction, I don't think that this team is going to be as far off as we all might think it could be. Like, I really think that I think specifically this year, there is a coaching carousel. Like I brought before, there's a coaching carousel out there that is really loaded. You guys know in free agency how sometimes there's just loaded free agency classes, and then there's just, like not as good free agency class. I think this is a good free agency class for coaches. There really is. I think that
Belichick's out there.
Yeah. You cannot. You guys are the worst.
That's why it's a loaded class. You got the
guys
best coach ever.
Take away, guys. Bill is gone. It's like Rick Pitino. Kevin McHale's not walking through that door. Fans, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish aren't walking through that door.
There's a huge
they're going to
difference
be gray
between
and
Rick
old.
Pitino and fucking.
But anyways,
we are not bringing up Mike McDaniel and Rick Pitino on the same podcast. I will just fucking snap.
That was irresponsible. That was irresponsible. Al, move on from bringing them up. What were you saying?
Yeah. What I was saying was
bad day.
What I was saying was, you cannot screw this up unless you purposely want to screw it up. The only way that they can screw this up is if they bring back Josh McDaniels as the head coach. If they somehow did that, I'd be like, all right, this is really dumb.
And guess what, Al? That's a possibility.
I know it is, and that's the one thing I'm scared about.
Robert Kraft is 100 years old. He's not the same guy he was 20 years ago when he bought a team. He's a big fan of the team. We're talking about someone who is addicted to success, rightfully so,
and hand jobs,
and also also addicted to being on in the good graces of people. So you got to think, what's he going to want to do? He's going to want to bring in and name people like or that they know. So actually, I don't think it's going to be Josh McDaniels. That makes me lead to believe even more that it's going to be Vrabel, because he saw the ovation that Vrabel got, and Kraft probably had stars in his eyes. He's like, oh my God, this could be us. So he's going to bring in a Mike Vrabel, and Vrabel comes in, that'd be off. Like, I wouldn't. Now that Belichick is gone, I'm more open to Vrabel coming in. And Al, it's funny because you sound like me being a little bit positive, being like, we're not as far away as we think, blah, blah, which I agree with. But then there's the devil on my shoulder that goes, but what if now the offense is good and then the defense kind of starts to go by the wayside, So you're going to win with a rookie quarterback. I'd probably a rookie wide receiver. Who knows for tight end? Like, I don't know what they do with the line. There's a lot of questions. We still have the same issues, but now we've just added more issues, which is the annoying part.
Yeah.
Right. Put it this way. It's January 11th. The regular season just ended, 4 days ago? Not even? 4 or 5 days ago?
Yeah, this is the fourth day, yeah.
Yeah, we're jumping so far ahead. Like, the Patriots just announced today that Belichick's gone. And we're
jumping ahead because I hate the present. That's why.
I know.
Yeah.
I understand.
I want to go to the past where everything was sweet.
Yeah, that would be cool. Go invent a time machine, and then you can do
that. I'll do that. I'll live permanently in the year 2004.
There you go.
All right, what were you saying?
What I was saying was, there's still plenty of time to see who the candidates are that they're going to interview. Like, you're probably going to see at least the two names we're going to see. We're going to see Gerard Mayo is going to get an interview. We're going to see probably Mike Vrabel's going to get an interview. Who knows? Maybe we see that Jim Harbaugh gets an interview. I don't know. But
kill me.
Whatever. He just won a natty. But whatever.
I don't care.
Whatever they decide to do, it's going to be kind of fun because it's kind of the unknown. And that's what I want to see. I want to see, okay, you don't have Tom Brady anymore. You don't have Bill Belichick anymore. Now, how are you going to respond? What are you going
Fun.
to do?
We're gonna respond with fucking elation.
I mean,
You
how?
shithead. Fun.
Hey, listen.
I love the offseason too. I love the NFL offseason.
Yeah,
It's
it's going to
never
be fun. That's the thing.
Why is it gonna
if
be
there
fun?
Because
if
you
there
have
is
80
one
million.
thing
Go ahead,
though,
man.
we can all, I'm not psyched to think about the next coaching candidate. The one thing I think we can all rally behind, though, in Mike Vrabel is the fact that he packs huge lips. That I think that's a thing. Like he loves his dip, and he packs mean lower deckers. There's just something to be said about a man who loves an old school method of getting a buzz on. I think if there's a silver lining here, if there's a light at the end of the tunnel, if it ends up being Mike Vrabel, we can all rally in the fact that he didn't pick up Sigs. He didn't move on to Zinn. He's not a jewel guy. He gets a good
Yes,
old
old
fashioned
school.
10. He packs it. He throws it in. He tells his players what to do, and that is about the only thing that I think can rally all Patriots Nation at the most.
So rally dips, essentially.
Yes, rally dips, big time.
I have a
rally
question.
dips.
Robert Kraft in his little 2 o'clock press conference behind Bill Belichick's back. They asked him, I don't even know how it came up, but he said that they weren't going to do like an honor thing, whatever, for Belichick until he was done coaching because it would feel awkward if they did it while he was still coaching. My question to you guys, why? Why is it awkward? You did a whole
he's gonna come smoke the
fellatio thing for
Patriots.
Tom Brady. Like I don't get it. Why was it? So it was. And this is just I think I'm becoming a Kraft hater, but like not the mac and cheese, the owner of the team, but
Yes.
like why wouldn't it be more awkward to suck the dick of the opposing quarterback as opposed to do so to the coach? Like, wouldn't that be more awkward? Where it's like, I know you're going to play us, like you are actually going to be on the field trying to beat us. But like, here's a video package, here's a halftime, or like, here's all this, not a halftime thing, because that's when he was that.
But the head coach who is more responsible for our dynasty gets nothing.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, like, is it going to be similar to Brady's and like a full on halftime thing when he's gone? Or is there going to be really no, like, I don't know what that means. It's just weird how he said it. It just seems like Kraft is now happy that Belichick's gone, like in this thing, because he said it was a mutual parting 17 different ways. So he's really trying to drill that home. And then he also insinuated that there were too many yes men around Belichick, not enough no men, which like, bro, that's your job. You could have fixed that.
Yeah.
But, you're not a real owner. But I don't know. What do you guys say about that? Where he said that, there's not going to be like a welcoming back or whatever, a ceremony thing until he's done coaching, which could be fucking 10 years.
I think it's the exact same thing as the Brady situation. I think it's the exact same type of thing where it's like in the moment, they're the opponent. You want to beat the opponent, which is understandable. And then when Belichick inevitably retires, then you come back and you give him exactly what they did with Brady the first game of this season. You give him exactly like you said, Mike, the whole halftime spiel. You give him the whole halftime speech. You let him walk the field, wave to the fans, all that stuff. I think it would do a disservice to do it if, let's just say, Bill gets the Atlanta job. If the Falcons come and play the Patriots, no one's going to be talking about 28-3 and, the good old days. They're going to be talking about, damn, Bill in a Falcons hoodie. It's just, it looks wrong. I think they just want to give him his day when he's not wearing an opposing team's logo or anything else. Exact same thing with Brady. So
they played a video and stuff for Brady, though.
I think they'll play
thing. So like,
I think they'll play the video.
Okay.
I think they'll play the video, but I think it'll be the exact same thing as Brady. Exactly.
So like an actual ceremony, like you said, would be
exactly.
Okay,
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that would make sense.
I'm gonna cry when that happens.
Oh, 100%. Because like the Brady thing was kind of wishy-washy. Because I know, Liam, you were on the same side with me. Al, I think you were kind of closer to the Brady side, where it was like, you still want Brady to do well, all that stuff. Fuck that. I want Brady to lose every single game.
Yeah.
I was talking with my wife, and she was like, is it weird that I'm more, not even worried, but more curious about where Belichick is going to go, in that like I might root for him like next year? Because to me, I will now, and I would always chastise people who had two teams. I will have two teams now. It'll be the
Oh,
Patriots and
100%, me
whoever
too.
Belichick is with. And
I
like when
agree.
he
I
cut-
can
let's
look
say
up
he
odds if
goes
you
to
I
want.
the
hope he doesn't go
Chargers.
to the Skins.
Me too, but guess what? It's one of those things where it's like, you know what? Like it's different with Belichick and Brady. Like if Belichick ends up playing the Patriots and he does some stupid ass thing, some like bullshit Ravens like plays or whatever, I'm going to be like, yeah, this is the guy that you guys let go of. Like, it's weird.
Does that motion on a punt block? We're fucked.
Yeah, and we're done. So like, do you guys feel the same way where you guys are going to be more for Liam? It's more so than you were with Brady. Al, I think you were a little bit, like I said, cheering for Brady a little bit more. But are you guys going to be still cheering for Belichick when he's gone, or is it going to be kind of like a clean break? Because to me, it's not. To me, he is still a Patriot. He said as much. He said he's always going to be a Patriot, but right now he's got to go. So like, where do you guys
captain,
fall?
my captain. If he's a Charger, I'm a Charger. If he's a Skin, I'm a Skin. If he's a Falcon,
what if he goes?
I'm a Falcon.
What if he goes? Which is a rumor.
I know.
Leo,
I know what you're going to say.
What if he goes to one Dallas Cowboys? What do you do then?
Not possible.
What do you do?
Oh, it's very possible.
Him and Jerry Jones have a great
relationship.
If he goes there with that defense in that, they are winning a Super Bowl next year. If he goes there,
that defense.
Yes, they are.
No, he's not.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he'll go there though, because I don't think he'll want to deal with Jerry Jones. But Al, how do you feel about that though? Not the Cowboy thing, just Belichick in general this year. You're going to root for him, and are you going to feel nasty doing it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm gonna from afar. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, hope Belichick's
fucking
doing well."
Cowboys thing shook me to my core. I feel like I was that John Bernthal meme where I'm like, no.
Watch it happen.
Wait. No, but I mean, look, wherever he goes, yeah, I'll pay attention to it. But it was exactly like when Brady went to the Bucs. When I didn't really pay much attention to it, but when Brady came, and I really didn't pay that much attention.
You didn't strap up a Tom Brady Bucs jersey and root for them on Sundays?
I bought the one thing I bought from Barstool was the Brady crew neck that had the pirate on it and Brady on the back. But other than that, I mean, I wasn't checking in every fuck you. I wasn't checking in every single week when the Bucs played the Patriots. I was rooting for the Patriots, and I was very happy when Matt Judon sacked Tom Brady. I was ecstatic about it. So
okay, that makes me happy.
Same thing with Bill. It's like if he ends up going to the Falcons, it's like, okay, if the Falcons come and play the Patriots, then then I'm rooting for the Patriots. I'm hoping Belichick makes a stupid decision that gives us the game. That's just how it's going to be.
That's where it changes. I don't know. And this is because I'm a Patriots fan. It's not the players, it's not whatever, but it's different. And it'll only be this year. It'll only be this year. It's Bill Belichick. It's the guy who built it all. So it's one of those things where it's like, if he were to come here, say he's on the Falcons would be a little bit easier than the Chargers or an AFC team. So say he's on them and he comes here, I'm going to be like, you know what? I want to win.
I'll take the loss.
Obviously, but let's just check real quick to see what this loss would do to the schedule.
Yeah.
It could be good. All right. Fuck us up. I don't know. It's going to be one of those things that, this to me could not be more different than the Brady thing, where, like I said, I want Brady to lose every single game he was in. Belichick, I want him to go undefeated next year. I want him to win the Super Bowl. And I want him to thank everybody but Robert Kraft.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think I didn't think I would, but watching the press conference today, when I tell you, I don't think I could have given less of a shit about what Robert Kraft was going to say.
Yeah.
Did not care at all. Did not care.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Bill Belichick get up there. He made.
I listened to it purely for podcast purposes. I was like, if I didn't have to get on with you guys today, I wouldn't have watched that.
Yeah, no, it was like he got up there, said, the last time there were this many cameras when we signed Tim Tebow.
That was hilarious.
That was an awesome joke. But yeah, it's gonna be. We're gonna see what Robert Kraft is made of moving forward.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks,
blood and rickety bones. That's probably what he's
a lot of things going on. I don't know.
And boner
I guess
pills. Probably a lot of boner pills.
You guys have any final thoughts on this one?
Obviously, thanks for everything, Bill, and thanks for the 6 Super Bowls. It was a great run. I also, after you guys have your thoughts, I have the team odds for Bill Belichick's next team
Yeah,
via
run it up. Yeah,
DraftKings.
yeah. Let those go. Let
You want to run
yeah.
them now? Okay.
Sure.
New York Jets
Oh,
plus
kill me.
5,000.
Shoot me in the face.
New Orleans Saints plus 3,000.
I can jive with that.
New York Giants plus 2,500.
Hate it.
That'd be nuts.
Carolina Panthers plus 1,600.
All right.
Tennessee Titans plus 800.
Absolutely.
That'd be funny. Vrabel comes here, he goes to the Titans.
Yep. So I'm again, I'm doing it from bottom to top, but any other NFL team that I'm not gonna mention in the next minute, plus 800. Washington Commanders plus 500. Los Angeles Chargers plus 400.
Okay.
Not the head coach of an NFL team plus 175.
Yeah.
That's second best odds.
What are they saying? He's going to be like a DC or
maybe just retire flat out. I don't know.
No, I think
And the team with the best odds, we talked about it at plus 150, the Atlanta Falcons.
Would you guys rather see him retire or go to another team?
No. The league with Bill Belichick, I think it's better than the league.
I want to see him break the record.
Yeah, dude, he's 15 games away.
I don't want to see him with somebody else.
I get that too.
But
I understand.
I know.
I understand.
But
I think I lean towards retirement. Just knowing he could have got those 15 is enough for me.
Yeah, I don't know. My kind of to wrap it up, it's just it sucks. And I think a lot of people had a lot of emotions because you're sitting there, you're not just thinking of, Belichick's not here. You're thinking of the last 24 years, all the good memories, all that, it's gone. You'll never, it's going to sound so corny, but that's all they are now. Belichick being on the Patriots, just a memory. That's it. Moving forward, it's just
a dream.
It's Nelly, just a dream. Now everything is different. Like this, like I said, this wasn't just firing a coach. You are changing everything. The Patriot way, gone. Culture, gone. Philosophy, gone. Like the drawing power of the team, gone. Not saying they can't get more by just purely being good, but gone. Say they draft Jaden Williams and they pair him with someone and they ball out. Like people are going to want to come play. Obviously, I understand that, but it's just.
Do you mean Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams?
Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! I just had a heart attack on X because I was scrolling through real quick. I thought Adam Schefter tweeted this, but it was a parody account, and it's a good thing I caught it because it said Patriots have scheduled an interview with former Steelers offensive coordinator Matt Canada for their vacant head coaching position for Diana Rossini. God. I saw that. I looked at it, but then I looked at the Twitter handle. I'm like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, it was the fake one. Yeah, but yeah, that's my thing. It's just this sucks. Still obviously going to root for the Patriots, love them, all that stuff. But it's just, I think we are very obviously in uncharted territory. We don't know what's going to happen. It just I have no idea what this team's going to look like next year. At least next year, if Belichick was here, you knew the defense was going to be good. Offense, depending on how he built it, was going to be how he built it. Now the defense should be good because they were good this year, but I don't know how much of that was coaching. See, I don't know who's going to stay, who's going to go, like whether it comes to coaching and players, like the energy level of the players now, if they don't jive with I don't know. This could be a really quick turnaround. Vrabel comes in, they draft Daniels, they draft another receiver, boom, boom, boom. They're in the playoffs this year and the Dynasty 4.0 is off and running, but it could also be the complete opposite. So I don't know. Just, it's going to be the last, 4 off seasons have been wild. And every year it's like, it can't get any crazier than this, but now it literally cannot get crazier than this. So
yep.
I don't know, because you got to find a GM, a coach, a quarterback, your 3 most important parts of your team building. Obviously.
A wide receiver would be nice.
Yeah, and then all the other things, wide receiver, offensive line help, tight end, because you got none, like depth pieces on defense. So I don't know. Yeah, my thing just overall, I'm sad. But give me a week. I'll talk myself into, we're back in the game. But as for right now, this sucks. I'm sad. I'm glad I had off of work. It just, everything sucks. Liam, what are your...
We should start drinking. So before I get into my closing statement here, I say next episode we do top Belichick moments. 3, 5, whatever we see fit.
5.
We
I
can
like it.
figure that
5. We'll
out
do
off
5. Yep.
air. 5, yep. We
Yep.
can do top 6 for Super Bowls. We can get creative with it, but we'll figure that out off air. I mean, closing statements. What Al said. You gotta give the man his props. Thank him for everything. Thank you for unprecedented success, unforgettable moments, a lot of uns. The dude just completely shaped sporting culture in about 7 states. One of the most beloved people who are kind of hard to like, and I think that there's always going to be a special place in the hearts of about 3 to 5 million people who just fucking love Bill Belichick.
Mhm.
Thank you, Coach. Love you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So
Hashtag thank you, Bill.
yeah, sure. I'll throw that up there
Hashtag
with
never
this.
forget.
So
Hashtag
yeah,
Bush did 9/11.
I guess next week will be the first episode of the new era. So
Fuck, we are in for it, huh, boys? God
yeah,
damn.
it's sure to be
Buckle
a
up.
Buckle
good
up,
off
strap
season.
in.
Yeah, we'll be here every week. See how it all goes down.
Rooting
It
for either
sucks.
the Redskins, the Chargers, the Falcons,
Ah,
possibly the Titans, the
all right,
Saints, hopefully.
whatever. That's I got nothing. So bye. Have a
Bye.
have a good one.
Bye, Bill.
Bye, guys.